Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're well. So at this point, we all know about the whole keep 10 fragrances for life, trash the rest of the collection, right? Well, today we're flipping the script and you guys are keeping 10 fragrances for life. Or more specifically, I asked you guys if you could keep only one scent. Everything else has to go. Which one would it be? And I've taken 10 of your top answers. And we have the ultimate keep 10 fragrances for life collection. Or at least that's what it says. Shout out to everybody that took part in this video. If you want to be featured in a future one, check out the post tab of the YouTube channel. I usually have a question on there where you can leave your answer and be featured. You guys better not let me down, even though I already know what you picked. I don't want to be disappointed. All right, so we're fleshing out our 10 fragrance collection. We're building it. What is the first fragrance that we're keeping? From Tahan24, he says, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. The eau de toilette is what kickstarted his fragrance journey, and addiction, the Parfum, is a masterpiece. You know what they say, first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem, and you said right there, you got the addiction. This is a little PSA for you guys. It's very serious. Let's come a little bit closer here. If you are spending too much money on your fragrance buying habit, you need to nip that in the bud. Don't let that control your life. Don't go into debt, don't be spending money that you don't have to spend. The fragrances will still be there. They'll be there. Don't feel like you gotta spend too much. Don't feel like you gotta keep up with the Joneses. Purchase things within reason and make sure it doesn't become a problem. Okay, back to the video. I do actually mean that. You do not want this to be, it shouldn't be a bad thing, okay? Fragrances should not be bad. Don't make it bad. So Bleu de Chanel Parfum is, yes, a bit of a masterpiece as far as the blue fragrance sphere goes. Here, have some. It's pretty good. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. It's gonna get on the lens. So it's gonna be a very modern blue fragrance, obviously, but also classy, sophisticated, great for pretty much any situation, casual or formal. Extremely well done. Obviously a little expensive, being a Chanel and being a Parfum, but I do have to admit, if I were gonna be able to keep only one, as far as blue fragrances go, Bleu de Chanel Parfum would be right up there toward the top of what I would want to keep. So that is where we begin. Let's see where we go next. This is from Hunted_Arch. He says, YSL Eau de Parfum. So we're doubling up on the blues here. That apple note is fantastic. It's an all-around clean and crowd-pleasing scent. It is definitely a crowd-pleasing scent. It has clean aspects to it for sure. It's also decently sweet. Good performance, so you know it's gonna last during fall, during winter. You can wear it during spring and summer, although, as I've said before, in summer, I'd probably dial it down just a little bit because it does have that solid performance. So that sweet aspect can be a little bit overwhelming if you go real heavy and it's hot outside, you're around a lot of people sweating up a storm, it could be a little bit rough. And in that situation, you'd be second guessing your choices. We don't like to second guess choices. That takes too much brain power. I like to just roll with my first choice and pretend like it was the right one, even if it wasn't. So along with that apple note that he mentions, there's also sage, ginger, bergamot, juniper, amberwood, tonka, and geranium. It is a solid choice for a fragrance collection because it gives you versatility. You can use it pretty much anytime you want. Now all we need is for YSL to come in either this year or next year and be like, oh, so guys, I was just thinking, like, it's a crazy little thought, but like, what if we reformulated Eau de Parfum? Like, what if we did that? That'd be pretty crazy, right? That'd be cool, that'd be fun. I can see them doing it. Like, I can see it in my mind's eye, and I hate it. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing right now or anything like that. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me before anybody like freaks out. Martin Neuhofer, 2802. What choice you got for us? We got two here. We need a third. He says, Prada L'Homme. Easy to wear, versatile, and not basic. Depending on who you ask, they may disagree with that last part, but I get what you're saying. It smells different than your more typical blue fragrances, which smell great, by the way. But yeah, Prada L'Homme, what's that got going for us? Well, it's gonna give us some iris. I dig that. Soapy, clean, classy, all good things, all good things. Really good office fragrance, good work fragrance, good casual fragrance, just a good one in general. Has a nice touch of sweetness to it, not overwhelmingly so, but nice little bit in there from neroli off the top. Now for my own personal top 10, if I were gonna keep a Prada L'Homme, it would be between this one and L'Homme Intense. I'm not sure which one I would go for. I'd probably have to like build out the 10 and then figure out which one fits in best. But this is a great choice. Love it, and we move on. Our next selection for the collection comes from Tritoni Threes, who says, Afnan Turathi Bleu, can't beat that versatility, performance, and price. Now this is an option that I would imagine half of you are like, oh yeah, that's a good one, and the other half are like, no. So it's a clone fragrance. It smells really similar to Bulgari's Tiger. So very citrus forward, gonna be for spring, summer, daytime for the most part. As it dries down, there's like amber and some other stuff in there, but really for most people, they remember it because of that citrusy opening. And frankly, it lasts a while. So it's not just like a citrus opening that's there for like 30 seconds, you know, sometimes that can happen. This one's got some good staying power, which he alludes to there. Performance and price. And honestly, if you were fleshing out a collection and you wanted to keep the budget down, like you don't want to go crazy, but you do want good quality, this is a solid choice because the quality is like up here, price is down there. And I do kind of hate the bottle because it wobbles too much, and I don't like that. Little whiny baby over here. Wham, my bottle, wham. That's essentially me. See, look at these. See that? I'm tapping it. Solid, that ain't going nowhere. Yep, it's bad engineering. It's just set up to fail. Our next fragrance coming from X Devo, who says, Terre Eau de Toilette. The first fragrance I bought myself and started my collection up to 40 fragrances now. Smells great and versatile year-round. So we're halfway through the collection and Terre d'Hermes coming in strong. And I will say, Terre d'Hermes bottles are built like a tank. I've got a larger, like 200 ml size bottle of this fragrance. This is my more personal size bottle. And I dropped it onto concrete from like 5 feet up. And it took some damage, but honestly, not that much. So check this out, I'll point out the damage right here. It's like chipped on the corner right there. And then if you can see right here, it's like a little messed up right here, scuffed up. And then the atomizer itself is scuffed up right there. But that's the extent of the damage. Still works. You may ask yourself, how did it fall 5 feet onto concrete? And I do have an answer, but it's not really an interesting or good one. So this was years and years ago. I featured this fragrance in a video that I had shot, and I was like, let me go ahead and like take some pictures of this outside. And I set it on the corner of like an AC unit that was outside, and I took a couple pictures, you know, it looked nice and everything. And then I went to go grab some other fragrances. The unit kicked on, so the fan started spinning, and this just flew. So I came back outside to find it falling right onto the concrete, and yeah, a little chip and a little scuff. It's okay, it's a tank. But none of that matters as far as how the fragrance smells, which is good. It smells good to me and a lot of you, but some of you also don't like it, which is understandable because it does have an earthy, like flinty vibe to it. Vetiver forward, kind of a dirty orange off the top. I find it very classy, masculine, a great versatile fragrance. Another one that's good for office use, formal situations, also can wear it casually, but it does have more of an appeal, I would say, to guys middle-aged and older. Younger guys probably not gonna like it quite as much. But it's a really good addition to a collection for sure. The next addition to the collection comes to us from Absinthe Abs, Armor Abs Crabs, who says, Mancera Cedrat Boise Intense. Honestly, it has it all. Citrus and fresh in the opening, masculine green in the mid, and the dry down at the base is slightly woody and musky, and it's a beast. You hear that? It took my voice away. And it's a beast. And super affordable for a niche brand. You just can't go wrong at all. That's true. Mancera is definitely affordable for a niche brand. Very inexpensive compared to some of the other ones out there, which is one of the reasons that it is so popular. That, and it's also typically a brand that releases fragrances that are a little bit more on the versatile, wearable side. I mean, they have some that are more niche, you know, more adventurous, but they've got ones like this that are just made to be worn. So this one opens up citrusy with black currant, which gives it a little bit of tartness off the top, also quite sweet. As it dries down, there are leather and woody notes in there that really give it that masculine base, a touch of vanilla, keeping that sweet train rolling from the opening into the dry down. Great atomizer, great magnetic cap, good performance, and you can wear it pretty much year round. So yeah, there is a lot going for this one, that's for sure. And a welcome addition. Oof. This next one's good. It's a good choice. So we need something else in here that's masculine, classy, sexy, classic, and Francis Copio Cap 7106 has us covered. And if that's not how you're supposed to say that name, my bad. He says, Penhaligon's Sartorial. Super versatile. You can dress it up or dress it down. It just works. And it's already, you know, semi-dressed up for you. It's got this nice little bow on the cap right there. Cool. So what do we got going on here with Sartorial? This one's a barbershop type of fragrance, so very clean, but at the same time, extremely classy. It has a lot going on note-wise, just a lot of things in there. Honey, beeswax, of course, lavender, oak moss, woods, leather, aldehydes, cardamom, pepper. It's got a busy note breakdown. You can wear it just about year-round. Maybe middle of summer, you would dial it back a bit, but you can wear it just about whenever you want. It's kind of a barbershop with some density to it. Longevity is solid. Projection a little bit more moderate, but it still works because that type of fragrance, you don't necessarily want it to be just like screamingly loud because that kind of detracts from the classiness of it. One thing I will say, Penhaligons used to be mad cheap at discounters. Like they used to be there always. And I'm talking like 40, 50 bucks cheap. Because you can still find them at discounters, it's just they're not cheap like they used to be. Which is a good thing for the brand. It means they kind of got their distribution in order, I guess. But man, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I missed the days when you used to be able to find these for 40 bucks. Still, they are great for the price point. Even at full retail. Kolya 2601 says, Dior Homme 2020, 10 out of 10 smell and versatility. Dior Homme 2020 is a fragrance that absolutely is extremely versatile. I completely agree. Fresh, spicy, woodsy, clean, classy, modern, easy to pull off. It's another one, like so many here, that you can easily wear in about any situation. You can wear that to the office, casually. You stop me if you've heard this before. You can pull it off wherever you want. Now, if the spicy, woody aspect of the fragrance is a bit too much for you, which is not overwhelming at all, but if you were wanting it cleaned up even more, freshened up, then obviously Dior Homme Sport, go for that one. It's really similar to this, only sportier, cleaner, fresher, citrusy-er, more citrusy. But still yet, this one absolutely slaps. Really good stuff. We move on. We're getting close to the end of our collection, and our next scent for the 10 is Ergiugo. Giugo. I apologize. If I had to choose just one, it would be YSL L'Homme, hands down. It's the perfect balance of clean, fresh, and sophisticated, making it a go-to for any season. Light and effortless in spring and summer, yet that subtle warmth makes it just as fitting for winter, classy enough for the office, yet versatile enough for any occasion. Sure, the projection and longevity could be better, but I don't mind. It's a masterpiece. I just sprayed generously, and with the 200 ml bottle being such a steal at discounters, I never hold back. Yeah, good old YSL L'Homme. This is a fragrance that, for me, I feel like anyway, I could be completely wrong, I feel like was one of the fragrances that kind of set in motion the blue fragrances that came after it. Because not a lot of people think of YSL L'Homme as a blue fragrance, right? But it has a very similar idea behind it, makeup behind it, that opening with like ginger and citrus that's really attention grabbing, that warms up as it dries down. You have a lot of blue fragrances that do a similar thing. When it opens up, it's like, wow, attention grabbing. So when you're in a store and you spray it on a tester strip, you go, ooh, that's great, I'll take it. And then as it dries down, that kind of sexy, again, warmth that comes out of it helps maintain that appeal that the fragrance has. Oh, tongue-tied, brain no work. So yeah, something like this indirectly or directly led to things like this, I feel like. And as he points out correctly there, you can pull it off about whenever you want. It does have that mass appeal, that compliment factor, even though it's been out for a while now, it still works. And if you can find it for a good deal, it's a smashing fragrance. What does that mean? I don't know. Last but not least, we got a fragrance from Dope G, all caps, who says, Creed Aventus. I know, but it's simply the king. Or he all capped the king, so would that mean he goes, I know, but it's simply the king? Kind of like that Tourette's just hitting right there at the end. Sounds familiar. King! So Creed Aventus. I mean, to be fair, if we're talking about the most popular men's niche fragrance of all time, it is that. You could say, hey man, if you're gonna keep 10, do you really need the Cedrat Boise with the Aventus? Because they get compared sometimes, and that's valid. But they both were fairly popular choices, so it is what it is, I guess. Aventus is that type of fragrance you can wear whenever you want. Yep, daytime, nighttime, any season, don't matter. Really well known for that opening with pineapple and black currant along with citrus. As it dries down, birch and vanilla. Gives it a little bit of a smoky woodiness, and then that sweetness does help maintain the complement factor that so many people are after in their scents. Of course, with it being Creed, it is expensive, like prohibitively expensive. And they keep getting more expensive while somehow at the exact same time, the bottles shrink in size and the fragrances, people say, continue to get weaker. So that sounds actually terrible. There's no positives there. But wait, they did change the caps to be metal, right? So yeah, that's like, no, that still doesn't really matter. But Creed Aventus, wrapping up our collection. Cool. So there it is, guys. You have created this monstrosity. But honestly, if you only had 10 fragrances, you are covered for every single situation here. I would say what is missing perhaps are more fragrances that are geared specifically for cold weather, but you guys were answering if you could keep one fragrance. And in that situation, you do need something that's very versatile. And if you have something that's overly strong and powerful made for the middle of winter, that's not gonna kick it so hard during summer. That's not gonna be great. So with keeping that in mind, nice choices. Thank you again to everybody that submitted their answers. Again, if you want to be in a future video, check out the post tab of the YouTube channel. There will be a question. You can leave an answer. Thank you guys so much for taking part and for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.